Kintsugi is an ancient Japanese art technique that teaches by embracing flaws and imperfections, you can create an even stronger, more beautiful piece of art.
The technique uses gold to repair objects, highlighting its scars and making them a part of its design. Cheddar at Home host B. Copeland is here with us in the studio to show us how it all goes down. B, so happy to have you here. But first, can you tell us a little bit about the philosophy behind it?
For sure. So kintsugi means in Japanese, a rough translation is golden joinery. So it is the art, the technique of taking a lacquer, a mixture of lacquer and a gold powder, a metallic powder, gold, silver, platinum, and repairing ceramics with this mixture. It does have ties to this other kind of life philosophy, this Japanese philosophy called wabi-sabi, which is a greater philosophy that appreciates and accepts the imperfect.
I love that.
Yeah, kind of finding beauty in the broken places, I like to think of it as.
Yes,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So would you say that this is a pretty easy DIY project to tackle?
No, I think this
okay.
this comes from 15th century. So the legend has it that a shogun, a Japanese shogun in the 15th century had this beautiful tea bowl from China and it broke. And so he sent it back to China to get it repaired. And it came back repaired, but it was with these kind of crude rivets, these big staples. I mean, it looked like Frankenstein, you know? And so he was really displeased with the way it was repaired. So he put it to his local craftsmen and they came up with kintsugi. So it's been a thing since the 15th century, and craftsmen still do it. It's still this art and this technique. For experts, it can take them 3 months to finish a pot. So it's definitely one of those, harder DIYs. That being said, they do sell kintsugi kits these days. You can get them online at a craft store. It's a mixture of the powder, the epoxy, the resin.
Right.
So we're going to try it today.
Right. This is so cool because it tells a story.
Exactly.
Right. Where it's been, what it went through.
Exactly.
And now we're going to tell our own story here.
Yeah, let's suit up.
Yeah.
Don't want to ruin everybody's manicures.
We're going to try this out.
All right.
So we'll get our gloves on, and then I'm going to just walk you guys through it. So some of the materials you're going to need, obviously, your broken pottery.
Right.
You can see this one I did myself.
Great job.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's split in half, and so you want your broken pieces. We have this right here, and then you're also going to need your powder, your epoxy, your lacquer, some sandpaper I recommend so you can sand down the edges, and these are just little popsicle sticks that you're going to use to apply the mixture once it's ready.
So not a whole lot.
No,
Not a lot of
simple
materials.
so far.
It's really all in the handiwork, which is why.
What I'm not good at.
No, me neither. So it should be fun.
That's why I'm here.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so I'll get you. Why don't you start creating the mixture? Yeah, give us about a dime full of that epoxy.
Okay.
It's coming out two different parts, the resin and the hardener. So we want about a dime full of that, and then you can put a little bit more. A little dollop of gold powder, and Hena, why don't you start sanding those edges?
Okay.
So as a substitute, could someone, let's say, use super glue or Gorilla Glue or?
That's actually a great question. Yeah, could you?
You could, in theory, but another thing about fixing bowls is you might want these to be food safe.
This is true.
So that's another thing. You don't want to use anything that's toxic if you want these to be food safe. That's why there are epoxies and resins that are food safe, and also powders that are really just food coloring.
Gotcha.
So that's one thing to consider.
What a pretty color.
I went a little heavy on the gold, but
You could do gold, platinum. You could get funky and do
really
a
anything
whole
you want.
different color.
So
Exactly.
cool.
I just got that
but
at a craft
traditionally
store.
they use gold.
Gold, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
and they use real gold. So not only does it take them a long time, but this technique is expensive if you do it right.
It's real gold.
So it ends up with the
Real
pieces
gold.
being even more expensive than they
Than you
started
bought
out
them,
being.
yeah.
Exactly, and that's kind of you're heightening the value of this piece. That's the appreciation for the imperfect.
Beautiful.
Okay, so before that dries, I'm going to get you to apply a little bit on this edge, and you want to use it very sparingly.
So
it actually goes a long way.
About this much?
Yeah,
Is that good?
Yeah. You want to hold? Yeah, you got it. Handiwork, you got it. So just right on the edge there, and these are all sanded and good to go. Nice.
No pressure.
It's like surgery here, or y'all like
It is.
surrounding.
Yeah.
Vanessa.
Bee's here, and I don't want to, let her down.
We all have to have our first kintsugi. This was my first kintsugi. I'm not super proud of it, but
I think it's
It looks
beautiful,
great.
really.
Thank you.
So
Thank
is this
you.
good coverage here?
That
I think
looks
I
like
got
good
all the
coverage.
edges.
Henna, do you want to, and get this guy right here.
Okay.
That's
So it
another
really has
edge.
to be all the way
You have
around.
to coat the entire crack with this
entire
lacquer.
crack.
So up here on this edge too. And
Oh,
what
here
the
we go.
sanding does is it just roughens up the edges a
Sure.
little. It really just makes a little bit of room for the lacquer that's coming in, because you want this to be a perfect
This
fit.
would have been such a great polar vortex day for those kids that were at home.
Yep.
They can fix all the things they broke. All right, is that
Okay.
good?
Yeah, Henna, you want to do the honors
Oh.
of attaching?
Speaking of pressure,
How symbolic.
Or
Two pieces become
joining
one
together.
together,
with our powers combined.
And you
All
want to
right.
do a little, you got it. Nice. You just can
Very
kind of
nice. Maneuver it.
maneuver it in
Wow,
there.
that glue is
Think we're in?
really
Think we're in?
strong.
Yeah, great. Okay, I'll take it from here.
Okay.
I'll just hand it over so you can see. Oh my gosh, great job.
Look at that.
I'm just squeezing it over. Okay, so what the trick with the epoxy is it's gonna start to harden in about a minute
Okay.
or two, but then what you really need to do is let it cure for several hours. It's gonna harden right away, but the curing is really where it gets set in place. So
Yeah.
How long does it take, would you say, for it to
for the
fully
cure, I mean, I would give it at least 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
If not a full 8, because that's when you really know it's solidified. So guys, I think
Vanessa,
you just
I feel like
you
this is
did
your
this.
baby.
We have to have a special shelf here
Yes.
in the studio just for
Bee,
it.
just curious, what's the price point on this
Yeah.
kit for people who want to try this at home?
So I've bought it 2 different ways. I've bought entire kits that are put together, and that ran about $50. Or I bought the supplies separate at an art store, and this ran about $12, and the gold powder.
So the
depending
glue
on,
about $12, the gold powder.
yeah,
Yeah.
8.
Yeah,
8
great.
bucks. So it is affordable if you're not using gold.
Right.
Yeah,
If
right.
you're not using gold or platinum or any other precious
Yeah.
metals, do you think it's actually cheaper to purchase this on your own, like ad hoc, or to purchase an actual
Kit.
Kit, yeah.
Well, I think if you're not going for gold, which you can certainly buy gold kits online, where they're using real gold, I think going ad hoc, making your own kit is totally reasonable.
Okay.
And then you can kind of control the powder if you want to do something other than gold.
Or is it still
really
curing?
nice.
Still, yeah,
That is
yeah.
so
You definitely
cool.
got to let it dry.
Yeah.
It gives it so much character.
It does.
Yeah,
it
so
does.
doesn't it? I mean, like even something like this, a little chip
little
came out
chip,
when I had it in the sink, and a little chip came off, and I was able to do the kintsugi technique. And actually, some kits will come with a little clay material
Okay.
that you can then mold, and that's a different technique
Oh,
if you want to
interesting.
get
Is that easier or is
a chip.
same kind of?
Well,
Difficult
imagine
level?
having to like build this little piece with your hands. You
Yeah.
got to get the mixture and the size
right.
just right.
Right.
So I'd say it's actually probably more difficult.
Okay.
The good thing is that as long as it sticks, there's really no wrong way to do it.
Absolutely. I mean, wabi-sabi, we're
Wabi-sabi.
appreciating the
love
imperfect.
that.
So there's also something to be said about doing something with your own hands, I
Right.
think.
Absolutely. I was just going to say that. There's something relaxing about
Yes.
this. Maybe not with lights and cameras.
Yeah,
Doing
but it
this
was-
on your
it was
own at home.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, last night in my apartment, I was having a grand old time.
A little wine, maybe not wine, because you actually wanted to be a successful project. We did it together. Bee Copeland
Our
always
first
with the
project.
awesome
Yes.
nuggets here. So where can we find you, Bee, if you want to learn more about these awesome products and DIY?
Well, I'm the host of Cheddar at Home, so
Right.
check
You
out
are.
Cheddar at Home every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. We got a ton of stuff going on there, lots of DIYs, lots of great interviews.
There you go, Bee Copeland. We cannot wait to have you back. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
And catch B every Tuesday at 6. Yep.